Welcome to Inner Light, esoteric wisdom for the soul's ascent. A sanctuary devoted to uncovering the hidden mystical thought. Here we journey beyond the surface of tradition, drawn together by the secret teachings that have inspired seekers, sages, and initiates across the ages. In this tranquil space, we delicately explore the balance between revelation and restraint, illumination and the shadow. Today, our path leads us to the enigmatic and most dangerous Shams al-Maarif, light and shadow in the sun of knowledge. In the annals of world mysticism, few works have inspired such awe, trepidation, and controversy as the Shams al-Maarif, the sun of knowledge. Penned in the 13th century by the Sufi sage Ahmad al-Buni, this text is both celebrated and forbidden, revered as a fount of illumination, and reviled as a tome of peril. Its pages offer a rare glimpse into the depths of esoteric Islam, where the pursuit of knowledge is intertwined with the mysteries of letters, numbers, and the unseen realms. Yet the Shams al-Maarif is not merely a repository of arcane wisdom. It is a living paradox, a book that illuminates even as it casts the longest of shadows. To some, it is a lantern upon the path towards divine union, a guide to spiritual ascent and the cultivation of inner light. To others, it is a text to be shunned, one whose teachings skirt the fraught boundary between piety and peril, faith and sorcery. Throughout history, the Shams al-Maarif has been whispered about in scholarly circles, banned by religious authorities, and circulated in secret by mystics and magicians alike. Yet, at its heart, the Shams al-Maarif is ultimately concerned not simply with the acquisition of power, but with the nature of knowledge itself, its potential to reveal both the heights of truth and the depths of danger. It stands as a testament to the perennial human yearning to pierce the veils of the ordinary, to glimpse the workings of the hidden, and, in so doing, to risk encountering the shadow within. This video invites you on a journey through the history, structure, and legacy of the Shams al-Maarif. We shall explore its origins in the vibrant intellectual world of medieval Islam, examine its teachings on the mystical science of letters, numbers, and divine names, and consider the rituals and spiritual practices it describes. We shall reflect upon the controversies that have surrounded it, its dual reputation as both a guide to enlightenment and a source of spiritual peril. Along the way, we will ponder the deeper questions it raises. What is the nature of esoteric knowledge? How should one approach the boundaries between wisdom and danger, revelation and restraint? And why, across the centuries, have seekers risked so much to pursue the hidden light? As we embark, let us remember, for those who seek the hidden, the journey is not only outward, but inward. To seek the sun of knowledge is to risk being dazzled by its light, and to confront the shadow it inevitably casts. Historical context. To understand the Shams al-Maarif, one must first situate it within its historical and cultural milieu. Its author, Ahmad ibn al-Buni, was born in what is now Algeria, living during a pivotal epoch in Islamic civilization. The 13th century was a time of both political upheaval and remarkable intellectual flourishing. The Mongol invasions were redrawing the map of the Middle East, yet cities such as Cairo, Baghdad, and Damascus remained vibrant centers of learning, where philosophy, science, and mysticism flourished side by side. Al-Buni was a Sufi, a devotee of the mystical path within Islam, seeking direct experience of the divine. While firmly rooted in the Quran and the traditions of the Prophet Muhammad, Sufism often prioritized inner transformation over outward ritual and sought hidden meanings in scripture, nature, and the very fabric of language itself. Sufi masters were renowned for their poetry, music, and metaphysical insights, but they were also deeply engaged with the esoteric sciences, numerology, alchemy, astrology, and theurgy. It was within this rich intellectual atmosphere that al-Buni composed his works. He was far from alone in his fascination with the mysteries of creation and the concealed properties of language and number. Earlier luminaries such as al-Ghazali and Ibn Arabi had also explored the spiritual significance of letters and divine names, drawing inspiration from older traditions, including Jewish Kabbalah and Hellenistic Hermeticism. The medieval Islamic world was in this sense a tapestry woven from threads of faith, reason, and esoteric inquiry. Yet, such pursuits were never without controversy. Orthodox scholars often regarded them with suspicion, wary of their potential for heterodoxy or even heresy. The Quran itself acknowledges the existence of hidden knowledge, al-Ghaib, but warns that it is the exclusive domain of God and occasionally his chosen messengers. The boundary between legitimate spiritual science and forbidden magic, seer, was, and remains, a fiercely contested one. Al-Buni demonstrates an acute awareness of these tensions throughout his writings. He grounds his teachings firmly within the Quran and prophetic tradition, presenting esoteric knowledge not as an end in itself, but as a means to spiritual purification and nearness to God. The Shams al-Maarif abounds with invocations, prayers, and exhortations to piety. Nonetheless, it does not shy away from exploring techniques and practices which, in other contexts, might be deemed magical or even perilous. This duality, the pursuit of hidden wisdom within the boundaries of Islamic spirituality, yet often skirting the edges of orthodoxy, would come to define both al-Buni's legacy and the reception of his most celebrated book. For some, he was a saintly sage, a master of divine secrets. For others, a dangerous innovator whose writings opened doors best left closed. Contents and structure of Shams al-Maarif. The Shams al-Maarif is as intricate in its structure as it is in its reputation. Unlike modern treatises, which tend to follow a clear linear progression, this work is layered, at times fragmentary, and richly interwoven with prayers, diagrams, tables, and esoteric instructions. Over the centuries, the text has circulated in various forms and lengths, most notably as Shams al-Maarif al-Kubra, the greater sun of knowledge, though abridged versions such as al-Sugra, the lesser sun, are also known. Despite variations between manuscripts, certain defining themes and techniques consistently characterize the Shams al-Maarif, distinguishing it within the corpus of Islamic esoteric literature. The science of letters, ilm al-Huruf. At the heart of the book lies the science of letters, ilm al-Huruf, an ancient discipline devoted to the hidden properties of the Arabic alphabet. In this worldview, each letter is imbued with spiritual significance, cosmic resonance, and numerical value. This concept is not exclusive to Islam. Similar ideas appear in the Jewish Kabbalah and Greek Numerology. However, al-Buni's approach is both highly systematic and deeply rooted in Islamic cosmology. The Shams al-Maarif explores the ways in which combinations of letters can be employed to form powerful divine names, invoke angelic presences, and unlock spiritual or material blessings. The text describes methods for calculating the secret names of God from Quranic verses, or for constructing talismans that channel the unique energy of particular letters. Importantly, the manipulation of letters is never presented as a trivial matter. It is regarded as a sacred science, grounded in the belief that God created the world through the command be, kun, and that the creative potency of the divine is encoded within the very structure of language itself. The adept who masters this science, according to al-Buni, participates, however humbly, in the ongoing act of divine creation. Numerology and magic squares. Closely linked to the science of letters is the use of numerology, ilm al-Jafr, and magic squares. In the Abjad system, each Arabic letter is assigned a numerical value, and these values can be calculated, permutated, and interpreted to reveal hidden meanings or even to divine future events. Al-Buni provides elaborate tables and detailed instructions for such numerical operations. Magic squares, grids of numbers arranged so that the sums of all rows, columns and diagonals are equal, feature prominently in the Shams al-Maarif. These are not mere mathematical curiosities. When inscribed with sacred names or particular sequences, they serve as potent talismans, believed to attract blessings, confer protection, or manifest desired outcomes. Certain squares are associated with planetary influences, days of the week, or specific angels. The creation and use of magic squares, as outlined by al-Buni, demands precise knowledge, ritual purity, and, frequently, the recitation of specific prayers or invocations. The process is exacting and fraught with warning. The text is clear that mistakes may result not in enlightenment, but in misfortune or spiritual harm. Divine names and angelic invocations. A central feature of the Shams al-Maarif is its detailed catalogue of the beautiful names of God, al-Asma, al-Husna, and the invocation of angelic and jinnic entities. Islamic tradition holds that God has 99 beautiful names, each reflecting a distinct attribute. Al-Buni expands upon this, offering hundreds of names, their hidden properties, and instructions for their ritual use. The text describes complex procedures for invoking angels, seeking their assistance for protection, healing, wisdom, or other needs. Such rituals may involve fasting, night vigils, the burning of particular incenses, and the exact recitation of names and prayers. Similar methods are described for interacting with the jinn, spirit beings who, in Islamic cosmology, inhabit a realm parallel to that of humanity. Crucially, al-Buni warns that these practices must never be undertaken lightly. Invoking spiritual beings is fraught with peril. Only those of steadfast faith, pure intention, and deep knowledge should attempt such rites, and always with the ultimate aim of drawing closer to God, not for selfish or harmful ends. The mystical science of the unseen, al-Ghaib, underlying the Shams al-Maarif, is the belief in the science of the unseen, al-Ghaib. This concept, deeply rooted in the Quran, refers to knowledge lying beyond ordinary human perception, the realities of angels, the fate of souls, the mysteries of destiny. While the Quran affirms that such knowledge is ultimately reserved for God, Sufi tradition holds that glimpses of the unseen may be granted to the spiritually refined. Thus, the Shams al-Maarif presents itself not merely as a manual of technique, but as a map for the arduous journey of the soul. It repeatedly insists true knowledge is inseparable from humility, ethics, and devotion. Without these, the pursuit of esoteric wisdom risks leading the seeker not to light, but into shadow. Manuscript tradition and visual elements. The Shams al-Maarif is also renowned for its visual richness. Manuscripts frequently contain elaborate diagrams, grids, calligraphic invocations, and magic squares rendered in vibrant inks. Marginal notes, warnings, and corrections by generations of copyists bear witness to the book's living, evolving tradition, and to the caution with which it has always been approached. These visual elements are integral to the book's function. The diagrams serve as spiritual maps, the squares as instruments of transformation. Even the act of copying, reading, and contemplating these forms is itself a ritual, binding the reader to a chain of seekers stretching back through the ages. The book's reputation, enlightenment, and fear. The Shams al-Maarif occupies a singularly ambiguous position in the annals of Islamic thought. From its earliest appearance, the book has been an object of both reverence and suspicion, its reputation shaped as much by rumor and hearsay as by sober study. Its name alone is enough to evoke fascination and anxiety in equal measure, and its legacy is inseparable from the stories, both wondrous and cautionary, that have gathered around it like a mantle. Reverence among seekers and sages. For some Sufis, scholars and seekers, the Shams al-Maarif has been regarded as a treasury of spiritual techniques and metaphysical insight. Its intricate explorations of the hidden meanings of letters, numbers, and divine names are seen as a continuation of the Quranic exhortation to ponder the signs of God in creation. In certain Sufi circles, the book has been used as a manual for spiritual refinement, a guide for those aspiring to purify the heart and draw nearer to the divine. Accounts abound of individuals who, after years of conventional study and ritual, turn to the Shams al-Maarif in search of deeper mysteries. Some report moments of profound illumination, visions, dreams, or sudden flashes of understanding that seem to lift the veil between the visible and the unseen. The book's detailed prayers, meditative exercises, and angelic invocations have, for some, become potent instruments of inner transformation. In these contexts, the Shams al-Maarif is revered not as a work of sorcery, but as a map for the soul's ascent. Accusations of heresy and sorcery. Yet from the outset, the book's esoteric content has placed it under suspicion. Orthodox scholars and jurists have often viewed with deep unease any work that appears to promise supernatural powers or that ventures into the world of spirits, jinn, and hidden forces. The Quran is forthright in its condemnation of sihr, sorcery, and many interpreters have seen the Shams al-Maarif as crossing a perilous boundary. Throughout history, bans and denunciations of the book have been commonplace. In some regions, mere possession of the Shams al-Maarif could invite accusations of heresy or criminality. Manuscripts were seized or destroyed, and religious authorities issued fatwas warning against its study. The book became synonymous with the dark arts, and tales proliferated of those who brought calamity upon themselves by tampering with its secrets. Paradoxically, this climate of suspicion only heightened the book's allure. Its reputation as forbidden knowledge made it all the more desirable to those on the margins of religious or social authority. Secret study circles, clandestine manuscript transmissions, and cryptic references in other works ensured that the Shams al-Maarif remained very much alive, even as it was publicly condemned. Censorship, secrecy, and transmission, the history of the Shams al-Maarif is, in no small part, a history of clandestine transmission and censorship. Manuscripts were copied in secret, often bearing marginalia warning readers of the potential dangers within. Scribes might deliberately omit or obscure certain sections, especially those dealing with the invocation of spirits or talismanic magic, out of fear for their own safety or that of future readers. Elsewhere, entire treatises were written to rebut or censure the book. Theologians and jurists cited passages from the Shams al-Maarif as evidence of dangerous innovation, bid'ah, or even disbelief, kufr, urging the faithful to shun its temptations. Yet, paradoxically, such denunciations often kept the book in the public consciousness and even fueled demand for underground copies. Thus, the book's dual reputation as a beacon of enlightenment and a source of peril became self-perpetuating. The more it was banned, the more it was coveted. The more it was feared, the more it was revered. Testimonies, light and shadow. Personal accounts of engagement with the Shams al-Maarif reflect the ambiguity of its reputation. Some claim to have experienced genuine spiritual breakthroughs, moments of healing, insight, or mysterious synchronicity. Others recount misfortune, spiritual confusion, or psychological distress following rash or ill-prepared experimentation. The book itself is acutely aware of these dangers. Al-Buni repeatedly emphasizes that true knowledge is inseparable from ethical conduct, and that the pursuit of power without humility is ruinous. Rituals and invocations are not to be used for trivial or selfish ends, but approached with reverence, discipline, and sincerity. The book in the popular imagination. Over time, the Shams al-Maarif has become embedded in the popular imagination throughout the Islamic world. It is referenced in folk tales, stories of magicians, and even in contemporary media. For some, it is the archetype of the Book of Secrets, a mysterious tome which holds the power to bestow love, wealth, or disaster. This enduring duality, at once a source of enlightenment and a font of danger, reveals much about the broader human attitude towards the forbidden and the unknown. The Shams al-Maarif stands as an enduring symbol of the perennial tension between the yearning for knowledge and the fear of its consequences, a beacon for the seeker and a warning for the unwary. Philosophical and mystical underpinnings. To comprehend the enduring allure and peril of the Shams al-Maarif, one must venture beneath its surface, beyond talismans and magic squares, to the profound philosophical and mystical worldview in which it is rooted. For al-Buni and many who followed in his path, the pursuit of esoteric knowledge was never a mere intellectual diversion or a grasping for power. Rather, it was a search for meaning, a quest to understand the very fabric of reality and the soul's relationship with the divine. The nature of esoteric knowledge, ilm al-Ghaib. At the heart of the Shams al-Maarif lies the concept of ilm al-Ghaib, the science of the unseen. In Islamic theology, al-Ghaib encompasses all matters lying beyond the grasp of ordinary perception. The mysteries of the soul, the workings of fate, the nature of angels and jinn, and ultimately, the essence of God. The Quran asserts, "With God are the keys to the unseen. None knows them but He," 6:59. Yet it also acknowledges that glimpses of the unseen may be granted to those favored by the divine. For al-Buni, seeking hidden knowledge is not inherently forbidden. Rather, it is to be approached with humility, discipline, and a keen awareness of its limits. The true adept is not one who arrogates to himself God's power, but one who, through spiritual purification and devotion, is entrusted with knowledge as a means of ascent. The Shams al-Maarif therefore positions itself as a guide for those who would approach the mysteries with reverence and self-restraint. Cosmology of letters and numbers. Underlying the book's practical instruction is a metaphysical vision in which language, number, and creation are intimately connected. Within this worldview, the Arabic letters are not arbitrary marks, but primordial realities, lights, anwar, through which God's creative will is made manifest. This resonates with the Quranic idea that the world was brought into being by the divine command, be, kun, and that the Quran itself is the eternal al-Kitab, mother of the book, inscribed in the heavens. Thus, the manipulation of letters and numbers is not mere magic, but a disciplined engagement with the deeper order of the cosmos. The adept strives to discern the correspondences between the visible and invisible realms, to read the signs on the horizons and in themselves, Quran, ethics, power, and to align the soul responsibility with the harmony of creation. A persistent theme in the Shams al-Maarif, and indeed in all authentic esoteric traditions, is the tension between knowledge and power. The book acknowledges that its teachings can be used for worldly gain or even harm, yet insists repeatedly that such uses are dangerous and ultimately self-defeating. True knowledge, al-Buni insists, is inseparable from ethical conduct. He who seeks the hidden must also face the shadow within. This perspective is deeply Sufi in character, reflecting the centrality of the purification of the heart, tazkiyat al-nafs, in all spiritual striving. The powers described in the Shams al-Maarif, whether the ability to heal, to protect, or to perceive the unseen, are not ends in themselves, but the fruits of inner transformation. The seeker is warned that pride, selfishness, and impure intention are not only obstacles to spiritual progress, but may open the door to profound spiritual harm. The Sufi quest for union, at its core, the Shams al-Maarif, is animated by the Sufi yearning for union with God. For the Sufi, the ultimate objective is not the accumulation of power or secret knowledge, but the realization of divine presence, the state in which the seeker perceives all things as signs pointing to the One. The esoteric sciences, in this view, are tools for awakening, for piercing the veils that separate the soul from its source. Yet the path is riddled with paradox. The quest for hidden knowledge can itself become a hindrance if it leads to attachment, pride, or delusion. The Shams al-Maarif cautions that all knowledge is a gift, that the highest mysteries cannot be forced, and that the seeker must engage in continual self-examination and surrender. The shadow side, temptation and hubris, as the book itself acknowledges. The path of esoteric knowledge is fraught with temptation. The lure of hidden power, the urge to manipulate the unseen for personal gain, and the risk of self-deception are ever present. Tales abound, within Islamic tradition and beyond, of seekers who, intoxicated by their discoveries, lost their way or suffered spiritual calamity. This is not unique to Islam. The motif recurs in all mystical traditions: the left-hand path versus the right-hand path, illumination versus shadow. The Shams al-Maarif stands as both an invitation and a warning, a mirror in which the seeker may glimpse their highest potential or their deepest peril. The book as an ongoing challenge. Ultimately, the philosophical and mystical foundations of the Shams al-Maarif invite the reader to a lifetime's journey of discernment. The book offers no easy answers or guaranteed results. Instead, it challenges the seeker to traverse the subtle terrain of knowledge, power, ethics, and self-transformation, ever mindful of both the light and the shadow within, influence and legacy. The Shams al-Maarif occupies a singular place not only in the canon of Islamic esotericism, but also in the wider world of mystical and occult literature. Its influence, both direct and indirect, has rippled through the centuries, shaping practices, beliefs, and anxieties across diverse cultures and epochs. Influence on Islamic esotericism. Within the Islamic tradition, the Shams al-Maarif has long been regarded as a foundational text for the later development of occult sciences, talismanic arts, and the mystical properties of letters and divine names. Generations of Sufi adepts, philosophers, and even some jurists have engaged with its teachings, whether to embrace, adapt, or contest them. Al-Bunni's systematic approach to combining Quranic verses, divine names, and numerology became a model for many subsequent treatises, such as those authored by al-Sakaki and al-Majrat. The impact of the book is particularly evident in North Africa, Egypt, and the Levant, where manuscript traditions thrived. Certain Sufi orders incorporated select elements from the Shams al-Maarif into their own rituals for spiritual purification, healing, and protection. The science of letters and the making of talismans, as outlined by al-Buni, found echoes in Sufi litanies, awarad, invocations, dhikr, and the amulets worn by ordinary believers. Yet, owing to its controversial reputation, the influence of the Shams al-Maarif was often indirect, filtered through commentaries, oral traditions, and practical manuals that either sanitized or reinterpreted its more contentious aspects. Even critics of the book could not help but borrow its language and methodologies, attesting to its pervasive, if uneasy, presence in the intellectual life of the Islamic world. Transmission beyond Islam, the reach of the Shams al-Maarif has extended well beyond the boundaries of Islam. In the medieval and early modern periods, the Islamic world was a hub of cross-cultural exchange, and works on the occult sciences circulated alongside treatises on philosophy, medicine, and astronomy. Jewish, Christian, and Hermetic authors, In the Middle East and Mediterranean, occasionally referenced or adapted Islamic esoteric teachings, including those found in al-Buni's oeuvre. Notably, the science of letters resonated with the Jewish Kabbalah, which developed amidst close contact with Islamic mysticism in Spain and North Africa. Christian magicians and alchemists, particularly during the Renaissance, drew upon Arabic sources for their own talismanic practices and systems of angelology. The diagrams, magic squares, and numerological frameworks of the Shams al-Maarif thus contributed, by way of translation and adaptation, to the broader Western occult tradition. Modern perceptions and adaptations. In the modern age, the Shams al-Maarif continues to fascinate, provoke, and at times frighten. Printed editions, frequently abridged or censored, are circulated across the Muslim world, sometimes discreetly in markets or through the internet. The book is the subject of academic research, artistic reinterpretation, and even digital innovation. Some contemporary seekers turn to the Shams al-Maarif in pursuit of Islamic magic, blending its teachings with elements of folk belief, astrology, and personal spirituality. Others approach it as a historical artifact, a lens through which to study the mystical imagination of pre-modern Islam. Scholars examine its manuscripts for insights into the transmission of knowledge, the evolution of esoteric traditions, and the boundaries between orthodoxy and heterodoxy. Despite its modern accessibility, the book's aura of danger and controversy persists. In some Muslim societies, it is still regarded with suspicion, considered a text of black magic or a source of ruin. Folklore abounds with tales of those who have suffered madness or calamity for delving into its secrets, while others claim to have found healing or enlightenment. Such stories, whether or not they reflect the book's true content, reveal its deep psychological and cultural resonance. The book as a cultural symbol today, the Shams al-Maarif stands as a powerful symbol, a cipher for forbidden knowledge, spiritual risk, and the perennial allure of the unknown. Writers, filmmakers, and artists invoke its mystique to conjure atmospheres of mystery and the supernatural. Merely referencing the book has become a way to signal an engagement with the occult or a willingness to transgress conventional boundaries. Its dual identity, as both a guide to illumination and a portal to peril, mirrors the broader human fascination with the liminal and the ambiguous. The Shams al-Maarif reminds us that the quest for knowledge is never simply about acquiring facts. It is about the courage to explore, the wisdom to discern, and the humility to accept the limits of human understanding. The legacy of Ahmad al-Buni. The legacy of the Shams al-Maarif is inseparable from that of its author. Ahmad al-Buni remains a legendary figure, venerated as a saint by some and condemned as an innovator by others. His influence extends far beyond this single work, shaping the contours of Islamic esotericism for centuries. Whether as a master of letter mysticism, a Sufi sage, or a controversial magician, al-Buni's name endures as a symbol of the search for the hidden sun of knowledge. Contemporary relevance, the Shams al-Maarif is far from a relic of a bygone era. It continues to exert a compelling influence in the modern world, both within and beyond Islamic societies. Its persistent presence is a testament to the enduring human fascination with the esoteric, the mysterious, and the forbidden. The search for meaning in a disenchanted age, in an age often characterized by rationalism, materialism, and scientific skepticism, many feel a deep yearning for mystery, transcendence, and a sense of connection to something greater than themselves. The world may be more interconnected than ever, but for many, it is also more disenchanted, stripped of wonder and numinous possibility. For contemporary seekers, the Shams al-Maarif offers a tantalizing link to a spiritual heritage that feels increasingly remote in the face of modernity. In places where Sufism and heterodox traditions have been suppressed or marginalized, the book can serve as a quiet act of resistance, a reminder that the pursuit of inner knowledge and transformation is a path that transcends the boundaries of dogma and orthodoxy. The allure of power and transformation. The promise of access to hidden powers continues to be one of the book's most controversial and attractive aspects. In societies marked by uncertainty, injustice, or powerlessness, the idea that one might tap into unseen forces through invocations, talismans, or secret knowledge remains profoundly appealing. Online forums, social media groups, and even popular culture are replete with discussions about the Shams al-Maarif, instructions for rituals, debates about its efficacy, and stories, both wondrous and cautionary, of those who have tried its methods. Some approach it as a manual for personal transformation. Others are motivated by curiosity, desperation, or a desire for control over fate and fortune. Yet the book's reputation for danger and spiritual peril is never far from the surface. Many are warned to avoid it altogether, while others insist on the necessity of strict ethical preparation, purity of intention, and spiritual discipline before engaging with its teachings. Thus, the dual legacy of the Shams al-Maarif, as both a source of hope and a font of fear, remains alive and well. Ethics and the modern esoteric practitioner. The ethical questions raised by the Shams al-Maarif are as pressing today as they were in al-Buna's own time. In a world where information is accessible at the touch of a button, the potential for misuse and misunderstanding is greatly amplified. The internet is awash with dubious translations, sensationalist claims, and sometimes reckless experimentation. Discussions within modern esoteric and Sufi circles frequently revolve around the boundaries between white and black magic, the legitimacy of seeking occult knowledge, and the moral responsibilities of the practitioner. Many echo al-Buna's own admonitions that power without humility is ruinous, and that true spiritual knowledge is inseparable from ethical conduct and self-restraint. Interfaith and cross-cultural encounters in an increasingly globalized world. The Shams al-Maarif is now encountered by scholars and seekers from a wide array of backgrounds. Academics of comparative religion, Western occultists, and students of mysticism explore its teachings alongside those of Kabbalah, Hermeticism, and other esoteric traditions. For some, the book represents a universal language of symbols and correspondences, a bridge between faiths and cultures. Such encounters are not without controversy. Debates over cultural appropriation, authenticity, and the dangers of decontextualization abound. Yet they also open the door to dialogue, creativity, and shared exploration of the perennial mysteries that bind humanity across time and space. The inner journey, facing the shadow. Within, perhaps the most enduring lesson of the Shams al-Maarif for modern readers is its insistence that the quest for hidden knowledge is, at its heart, an inner journey. In a culture obsessed with external mastery and material success, the book calls us to turn inward, to confront the shadow within, purify our intentions, and seek harmony with the divine order. The perils of pride, greed, and self-delusion are as present now as they were centuries ago. The Shams al-Maarif, in both its promises and its warnings, reminds us that true illumination is found not in the subjugation of others, but in the transformation of the self. The book as living tradition despite bans, censorship, and ongoing controversy, the Shams al-Maarif endures. It is a living text, continually reinterpreted and reimagined by each new generation. In study circles, on digital platforms, in moments of solitary reflection, it remains a source of inspiration, challenge, and intrigue. It offers no guarantees, No easy answers or paths free from peril. Instead, it invites us to tread the delicate line between light and shadow, to approach the mysteries with humility, discernment, and courage, and to seek the sun of knowledge that shines both within and beyond. Conclusion: the Shams al-Maarif endures as one of the most enigmatic and controversial texts in the history of esoteric wisdom. Its pages, at once illuminating and foreboding, have beckoned generations of seekers to the very threshold of the hidden, promising both the ascent of the soul and the hazards of venturing too far beyond the familiar. It is a work that has inspired awe, provoked condemnation, and sparked countless debates about the boundaries of knowledge, faith, and power. Our journey through the Shams al-Maarif has taken us from the vibrant intellectual ferment of medieval Islam to the intricacies of letter mysticism, numerology, and angelic invocation. We have witnessed the ways in which al-Buni's teachings have shaped both the practices and the anxieties of seekers, mystics, and scholars across continents and centuries. The book's dual reputation as a source of enlightenment and a font of peril speaks to a universal tension within the human condition: the desire to know what lies beyond the veil, and the recognition that such knowledge is never without cost. In our modern age, the Shams al-Maarif continues to cast its ambiguous light. For some, it represents a living tradition of spiritual exploration and inner refinement. For others, it remains a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers that attend the unchecked pursuit of power and arcane secrets. Its enduring relevance is a testament to the perennial human hunger for meaning, transformation, and connection with the transcendent. Yet, perhaps the greatest lesson of the Shams al-Maarif is that the true sun of knowledge shines not merely in the mastery of esoteric techniques or the accumulation of hidden lore, but in the cultivation of humility, discernment, and ethical responsibility. The quest for the unseen is ultimately a journey within, a process of confronting one's own shadow, purifying the heart, and aligning the self with the deepest currents of the divine order. As we close this exploration, let us remember that every encounter with the mysteries, be they found in ancient manuscripts or in the depths of one's own soul, demands both reverence and caution. The Shams al-Maarif invites us to walk the narrow path between illumination and shadow, revelation and restraint. It reminds us that the greatest wisdom lies not in the secrets we uncover, but in how we choose to live in their light.